Hey guys, welcome back to Casually Culture, my friends. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? I love it. I love it. We are back here with another episode of Casually Culture. We got a great conversation coming with you today. I know I'm saying we because we all are casually cultured. I hope you know that because I got love for you. We all got love for you. All right. A few things of point of order, real quick. First of all, I want to say thank you again to the people who have viewed the content I'm presenting to you guys, who are liking it and sharing it, and of course, following the Instagram and Twitter. Please continue to do that. Like I said, share Casually Culture with your friends, your family, everybody who will listen, because this is a place for all of us to fan out and to just be us and have some fun with it. That's the whole point. That's the whole goal. And I hope you guys can appreciate that. And I hope you guys love that. All right. So I just want to say thank you for that, first of all. Second of all, is I know I said in my introduction video that I'm going to have guests. I do eventually want to have guests. I do see guests coming in the near future, but I make no promises currently because still trying to work out the kinks, still trying to figure this stuff out. Blah blah blah. I don't want to bore you with the technical stuff because I don't know the technical stuff, so I'm not going to lie to you about that. But I'm working on it, man. I'm working on it. I'm trying to see how I can do it with the tools I have now, and we'll see where we go from there. So just know that I do eventually want to have guests on the show. Um, so yeah, that is the few things I just wanted to get a few point of order things out of the way. And now with that being said, we can go on into our conversation. Today's conversation is about Star Wars. Okay. I love Star Wars. I'm a fan of Star Wars. I don't know everything about Star Wars, but I do know some stuff about my Star Wars. Okay, I do. But today's conversation is my criticisms of Star Wars. And these are constructive criticisms. I think that these criticisms are warranted. I don't think that they are like very like antagonistic. I think these are just things I've seen and been seeing lately that kind of irk me a little bit. That that's just something I want to talk about and see if you guys have an opinion on it as well. So once you hear what I've said, please leave a comment. Let me know, like, how are you feeling about it? Like, what's your opinions? Your love, your hate? Don't hate. Don't hate now. Don't hate. Just just we try not to hate too much, but your dislike of certain stuff. Um but yeah, I really do appreciate you guys leaving those comments because, like I said, it gives me the not only your opinion, but also you guys give me your feedback on what I can do better for the show, how we can make the show better. Because there's no casualty culture without you. It really isn't. I need you guys just as much as I need it to breathe. That's how I feel about it. But yeah, let's get on to it. So my criticisms of Star Wars are four things, really. Let's start with the first thing. The first criticism I have with Star Wars is its over reliance on the original trilogy timeline. Now, let me preface by saying this. I have not kept up with everything Star Wars in terms of the shows. I have not watched The Acolyte yet. I have not watched Mando season 3 yet. I have not seen Andor, and I have not seen the Boba Fett show. Now, so take what I say with with my opinions with that knowledge in mind. Not because I don't want to see them, I just haven't had time to see them, and I'm busy. I got other shows to watch. I got other things to do in my own personal life. I'm a busy man, so forgive me on that. I do intend to watch all of those series eventually. Okay, so don't think I'm just like skipping it just to skip it. I do plan on like sitting down one of these days and like binge watching all those shows, and then I'll come back and I'll maybe if you guys are interested, I'll give you my opinions about it, my reviews of it. But go off of this of what my knowledge is at this current moment. So I have a problem with Lucasfilm and Disney focusing on the original trilogy's timeline. They love to put stories in the middle of the Empire, or episodes 4 and 5, or episodes 3 and 4, or episodes 5 and 6, or even episodes 6 and 7. And truthfully, in my humble opinion, I'm just tired of it and sick of it. I don't care anymore. The Empire is dead to me. It was dead to me in episode 6. They brought it back and rebranded it to the First Order in 7. And but to me it was still the Empire. I'm just like, okay, we're still doing this. Okay. I didn't like it. Now, not to say I didn't like those movies. I like 7 and 8. I'm not talking about 9 because that was terrible. But I do love 7 and 8. But anyway, their over reliance on the Empire to me has just been too much. You They're constantly putting stories in between those eras between episodes 3 and 7, and I just don't care anymore. Like, the outcome is there. We know the outcome. And the more you do it, the more the continuity kind of gets screwed up in a way. And that's the second part of my issue, is like the continuity, the canon of it all. Like, you have stories in between episodes 3 and 7 to where I question, where the heck were these other folks at during that time? And it's like, okay, like Ahsoka, like, she was in Rebels, which is the cartoon series taking place between episodes 3 and 4, if I'm not mistaken. And it's like, okay, so you were alive. I thought you died during the Clone Wars, but you're alive, and you transitioned all the way past episodes 4, 5, and 6, and now you're at the end of 6. What were you doing the whole time? You just like the Empire was taking over. You couldn't help out a little bit. Like, what were you doing? And see, that's the thing. Is like, you start questioning the logistics of like certain characters and motivations, and it's like, what? Here's the biggest issue I have. I watched the Obi-Wan series. That last episode, Great Fight, that ending pissed me off because it made Obi-Wan the bad guy. Like, really think about it. I know if you guys know what I'm talking about, you probably gonna be like, wait, what are you talking about? No, Obi-Wan's the bad guy. He let Vader live not once, but twice. In episode 3, he didn't know. I don't think he knew that Anakin was alive. I think it's very blatant. He's like, yeah, I pretty much thought I killed him in Mustafar, the volcano planet. But in the Obi-Wan series, when he fights him again, he walks away and lets Vader live. Vader committed episode of Execution 66 after that. Like, he was still murdering people. Obi-Wan let Alderaan get blown up. He could have ended a lot of stuff if he had killed Vader right then and there. And it's just like, you let him Obi-Wan, and then Obi-Wan wasn't even old yet. He was still young. So it's like, when Obi-Wan, like, years later, Vader is still murking folks. You let this man live. That ruins Obi-Wan's character. He ain't no saint. It makes a Jedi just look like, dude, you really just let people die for no reason. You literally could kill him right there, and you let that man live. So it's just like, yeah, you ain't a good person, Obi-Wan. I'm sorry. You probably committed a lot of genocide because of your stupid actions. Just saying. Just saying. You murked a lot of folks. Anyway, but that's the thing. When you over rely on the Empire, and you're telling so many stories in between that time, certain things you start questioning. like, even this, like, I'm if I'm not mistaken, a lot of people say, I think Disney even said this in Lucasfilms, like the games are canon. So Star Wars, The Fallen Order, and Star Wars Survivor are canon. Now I've played Fallen Order, I haven't played Survivor, but and then Outlaws. Star Wars Outlaws is canon too, which takes place in between those episodes, as I've mentioned before, during the Empire time. So it's to me, it's like, okay, so now we have more characters in these stories that don't really do anything outside of their own stories, but you questions like, okay, where were you in episode 6 or 5? Like, could you not help out? Like, I know it's like it's like all in retrospect, because it's like, well, George Lucas didn't think of those things in that time, but it's like, yeah, I know, but the more you add to it, the more I question it, right? I'm questioning things. It's like, you guys are still alive? Like, what the heck were y'all doing? And like, I need some information. Like, what are we doing? So it's just one of those things. Like, you start questioning the continuity of it all. You start to like, okay, this is here, then how did this happen, and this and that? But you just adding all this stuff. It's like, okay, whatever. So that's one thing. Another thing is the Empire loses its intimidation. I don't fear the Empire anymore. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, even when in the trilogy, original trilogy, I was never really like afraid of them, but they at least had like some sort of intimidation. I mean, they're just incompetent now. Like, Rebels made them look incompetent. The Bad Batch, I'm just like, so are we're supposed to be afraid of this Empire, quote unquote, because they really good at stuff? And it's like, your intimidation factor has like severely dropped. Your stock is gone, my boy. And I'm just kind of I'm out of it. I'm like, I don't care, because we know the end result. It doesn't matter. All this extra stuff they're adding into it, to me, it's like, okay, but what's the point when we know the outcome in episode 6 and 7? You don't add nothing to it. In fact, you probably take away some of it now. So yeah, those are two of my issues. The over reliance on the original trilogy timeline when it comes to, like, the Empire, and the continuity of it all, the canon of it all, where you're adding stuff, but your stuff starting to not make much sense. Now let's talk about 3. Uh, my other problem with Star Wars is I I don't know where it's going. Like, what's the point of it all? I think Star Wars is trying to do the original, like the MCU, and have this whole cinematic connectability of the shows and movies, but there was always a purpose with those movies and shows. I don't get that from Star Wars. I haven't seen the Acolyte, I haven't seen Boba Fett, and I haven't seen Mando season 3. But I'm always wondering, where is the bigger picture of this all going? Like, what's the purpose of this? What is it, I don't know how to say it, but it's like, I just need to know, what am I supposed to take away from this show or series? Not saying it can't be its own independent thing, but when you're talking about this galaxy that's somewhat connected, or have these major events happening, I kind of want to know, what's it leading to, what's its purpose, what's the outcome. I just, like, in a bigger scale, I don't know. Like, I haven't seen Boba Fett, so I can't speak on it. But, like, what was the point of it? Like, you guys who've seen it, what was the point of it? And how does that relate to the overarching story of Star Wars, or in terms of how that story can correlate to something else in Star Wars, like another TV show or a movie? I just, want to know what that's all about. I think something that they may do, and it depends on how they're going to execute it. But from my understanding, I haven't finished Rebels. I think I watched like the first two seasons, but then it kind of lost me a little bit because of certain things it was doing that I just like, oh, okay, it's a little too kid friendly for me. But whatever, that's a whole nother conversation for another day. But I think they're trying to build up Thrawn, and they want to, make a whole, maybe a show slash movie with him, and it's cool. Don't get me wrong, that's cool, but it's set in between. I'm pretty sure between 6 and 7. So then my question is like, what's the point? Because we already know the outcome of that. If they didn't appear in episode 7, 8, or 9, then the outcome is already, it's a foregone conclusion. So then, as an audience member, as myself, why do I care? Right? I mean, does the story matter? I mean, it'd probably be cool to see some scenes and stuff, but it's like, we already know the outcome. There's no suspense to it because the story's already been told. And it sucks that way because it's like, I just need to know, like, what is the point? Where are we going with these stories? What is the overall? And I don't want to say like an overarching story, but like, does it matter in the end? Does this matter in the Star Wars universe? Right? It may matter to like the small little corner of the universe, but like, you tell your little side story, but that's cool. Don't get it twisted. It's cool, but it's, to me, I'm always like, all right, now where do we go from here? What's the point of this? Like the Han Solo movie. Why did that exist? What purpose did that movie serve other than to just say, here's a young Han and a young Chewie going on an adventure? And then they put in like the Darth Maul at the end. And I was kind of like, what was the point of that? What did that matter? Like, was it supposed to matter? Did they have plans for it to matter? I don't know, but it felt pointless to me because I'm like, okay. And then you concluded Maul's story in Rebels, and it's like, so did he play any part in between there? And if he did, should I care? I don't. Okay, bye. So yeah, I those are the things that it's just like, it bothers me to where it's like, you don't have no direction, you have no purpose. At least it feels like that. I could be wrong. I could totally be wrong, but it's just one of those things. I'm like, what are we doing? Like, why does this exist? I can understand Mando, and they're telling their own story with that, and the Mandalorians, and they have their Mandalorian wars. I get that. I guess it's just like, once you already know the outcome of something, like, because these are set between 6 and 7, I'm just like, I already know how 7 ends, so I know how your story ends, but you're not in that story. So in the end, yeah, cool, you told your little side stories, but I guess I don't care as much as I probably should. And that's sad. I should care, but the ending is the ending, and I'm like, oh, you're gonna either die or make me question, like, where the heck were you the whole time? And that's never a good thing either. So, I think that Lucasfilm and Disney need to have a more concrete plan of what kind of stories they want to tell and how their shows can help boost that, and correlate to whatever they want to tell. Because it's like, I need to know the purpose of the show and moves that you're producing to make me care again. And that's just, that's a little criticism of my part. Like I said, and they can get it fixed up. I believe in them. But yeah. My last thing I want to bring up is the tone of these movies and shows. I think Star Wars has lost its grit a little bit. It lost its little darker tone. Now, like I said, I say this without seeing the shows I've mentioned, so I don't know if that's changed or not. But from what I've seen so far, I feel like they've lost their grit and edge just a bit. And maybe this is a little biased on my part. Like, I've played Knights of the Old Republic. I've played Force Unleashed. I've played certain games where, man, limbs were getting cut off. There was a lot more darker stuff in these stories, and I don't think that Star Wars has been hitting that recently. And I kind of miss that. Like lightsabers used to mean something. When you getting cut, you getting cut. That was a one hit kill, man. Them lightsabers were like the golden gun from 007. I'm just saying, you got hit by that Joker, it was done. You were done, so like kiss your behind goodbye. That's it, you know. But now it's like you getting stabbed by a lightsaber. It's a little scratch here and there. I'm like, I don't like that. I don't like that. I like when lightsabers felt threatening. Like, man, you saw that thing light up, your eyes went up like, oh boy, I might be getting cut today. I better walk away from this. Right? And I don't know, it just doesn't feel like that anymore. It doesn't feel like the lightsabers are a threat. Heck, it barely feels like the Jedi are a threat. Like, Master Jedi, it's like, and that's another thing. I feel like the combat, like nothing for me is going to be like the original, not the original, the prequels lightsaber combat, and the new stuff hasn't been hitting like that. They feel a little slow and a little less kinetic. I don't know. It just doesn't feel like master swordsman going at it. It just feels like you're fencing at a fencing competition, which is cool, but it just doesn't bring that grit and edginess and showcasing the skills that the Jedi have. Like if you look at the prequel trilogy, and they were fighting. They were like, I'm throwing these hands or sabers, so to speak. Even if you look at Star Wars, the Old Republic, like those trailers, man, them trailers used to be so lit, man. They had them lightsaber fights. And you're like, bruh, these were real Jedi fighting for real. Jedi and Sith fighting for real. And I don't know. I feel like Star Wars has lost that grit a little bit, that edge of mastery, that little. I don't know. It just lost it for me. A little sense of just grit and yeah, I like that. I need that, man. But yeah, it is. It can always get it bad. Just take their time with it, and hopefully it gets better. But I'm not hating. I'm just like I said. These are constructive criticisms on my part. So with that being said, here are some things I think they could do to make the shows better or movies better, or just personally my opinion. One thing that I think they could do is, I know a lot of people, fans of Star Wars, keep saying this, and I hope they do it, is really go back into the Knights of the Old Republic. Like, really, because you can literally make a fresh baddie, a fresh new conflict. You don't have to use Revan or Malik if you don't want to, although I would hope you would, because why not? They're like one of the best characters in the whole Star Wars universe, in my opinion. But use those. You can build off of that. It doesn't have to be perfect from like those games, but you can build off of it and make it mean something. Or vice versa, you can go far into the future after episode 9. Please go into the future after episode 9. Lord have mercy. But you can go into the future, like far future, and have a whole new dynamic and conflict, new characters, new suspense, new everything. Like a basically brand new start all over, right? New characters and all that, man. New everything. And it makes it better, right? Or it could, you never know, but it's a possibility it can make things better. But you have a fresh new start, and it's like you have a blank canvas and start painting, right? So that, and like I said, just make the lightsaber combat more engaging, more kinetic, more forceful, pun intended, and go from there. But guys, that is my critique of Star Wars. I think I've said some interesting criticism. I think I have some interesting criticism, but like, let me know, man. Let me know what you guys think. I'm curious to hear your opinions about it. If you agree, if you disagree, um, and also, as always, give me your feedback on the show. I have taken you guys up on your advice on some of them. I got the mic here. It's a little mic for the phone. I plan on getting more stuff. I got better lighting. I hope you guys like the new setting of what I'm presenting to you because I'm doing my thing. Um, but yeah, I'm always trying to improve. I'm taking you guys up on your advice. I I ain't too prideful to not say when I'm not doing something good. Hopefully, I'm doing something good. I hope you guys love it. Like, share, comment, subscribe, all the fun stuff. Share it with your friends and family because you never know, you might see them on here. Hey, you know what I do or what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to do it. Like I said, casual culture don't work without you, baby. And I love all of you for it. So hope you enjoyed my little rant and hope to see you guys again. Hey, you might see another video this weekend. You never know, but keep your lookout. Bye.